All right. All right. We are live. Yeah. All right. We are live in 3, 2, 1. Yep. Here we go. What's up, YouTube and everybody watching out there? Your boy, the Drip Man, is back with the Drip Man Sports Podcast. We know that it's been a minute, but we know that you missed us. Anyway, I'm here with my boys, my podcast crew, Flip and Wazatal. What's up, gentlemen?
I'm very glad to be back. What's up? Bring us here.
Yes, sir. Now, the NBA playoffs. This first round of the NBA playoffs so far, I mean, because you know how normally the first round is kind of the weakest round to watch because it's like all the top seeded teams versus the low seeded teams. And normally in a lot of games, like I watch the first, because normally games that don't go the full 7, I normally just watch the against. But this next round of the playoffs is looking pretty interesting. Flip, what's your thoughts on the first round?
It was pretty spread actually. I mean, the Jazz beating the Thunder, I was kind of up in the air because I felt personally that the Thunder team was a solid team that could have beat them if this was maybe like 2 years into them being like a team. Because I feel like Melo and Paul George being added were just kind of like talent upgrades, but it wasn't enough to beat a team like the Jazz that's been, years of development.
Right.
And Donovan Mitchell was a baller. Like that surprised me. So, but the Cavs and the Pacers series was really actually surprising to me. I didn't think LeBron was going to let it go to 5.
Yeah.
Against the Pacers. That was a really fun series to watch. And I'm actually looking forward to Oladipo next year.
Right. Wazatal, your thoughts on the first round?
Yeah, you know what? I was actually surprised and more like enthralled with how competitive or how like close the series were in the Eastern Conference versus the Western Conference. Because the Western Conference gets lauded as like the conference, and then so you kind of expect the playoffs to kind of resemble that for the competition to be a little bit better, but
right.
It just felt like the East. It just felt like the East had a lot more tougher series and more entertaining series, especially that Cavs Pacers series. That was riveting all the way around. That I did not see that going all 7 games, let alone like 5 or 6. I thought that would be an easy out for LeBron, but I really underestimated Oladipo. He's a clutch. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was just him kind of having his own kind of team finally, and he developed enough for it. Like he kind of had room in Orlando, but he was still really young and developing. And then maybe when he finally was ready for it, he was in OKC and didn't really have that opportunity with Westbrook. But I mean, he finally kind of found his perfect niche in Indiana. And it has really taken off for him. That was incredible, and I look forward to seeing how his game develops, especially with him already worrying about getting ready for next year. I saw that screenshot that his trainer posted on Instagram, but it was great. Utah, I'm so proud of being a Utah Jazz fan. I'm so happy for them to just get rid of that fraud of the team, OKC.
Oh God!
Lord! I thought that they were just frauds, man. I mean, Westbrook really was. Paul George had like 2 good games.
Did you see the final stats of the last game? Did you see the final stats? Yeah. Russell Westbrook had what? 47 points.
Yeah, Westbrook did everything he could, man. And Melo. Melo out there putting up single-digit points in games.
Oh my God, that's depressing. Somebody of his talent to put up like single digits, not even get a triple-double. And I mean, Paul George. Do I need to say it? Underachiever.
Yeah, Paul George didn't really. He went to bed. I mean, he had really 2 good games in that series. The first game, and then I think game Game 5 when they came back from 25 down. So which I thought, I was kind of worried because I was like, wow, they had such a momentous comeback. Like maybe this is going to carry the next couple of games. But you saw put the clamps down in Game 6. So
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I was really happy for them. And Donovan Mitchell, man, he kind of reminded me a little bit of got a little Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me a little bit of Wade. Like he takes over the fourth. He's got that get to the basket mentality. So I'm really impressed with him, and impressed with the Pelicans. Can we give it up for the Pelicans?
Oh yeah.
And Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm.
He made that first round sweep.
Yeah.
Can we compare Portland to the Hulk and Infinity War? Or is that too soon?
Nah, it's too. That's a little bit too soon. Yeah. But I mean, you're in the ballpark. I ain't gonna lie about that, because I was just about to ask you guys: do y'all think that the West is a lock? Like, does the West go through Golden State? Because to be honest, Houston, they're dangerous too. They are looking pretty damn dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Does it go through Golden State? I mean, last year, yeah. This year, I feel like a lot more teams are figuring out how to finally handle that super team.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like the Rockets are one of them.
Right.
So I mean, I can see it being like a 6-game series, and it could go either way. But I don't think it's solidified that it goes to Golden State anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like it's either Rockets or Warriors, and I wouldn't be surprised if Anthony Davis turns into Anthony Davis, who he's always been. He's just finally got somebody to help him out. And Drew Holiday, and I think Rondo's still there, right?
Yeah.
No, Rondo's been playing.
He's not hurt yet, right?
Yeah, he's not.
I've been paying attention too much to the Pelicans. But yeah, he's got the supporting cast to do it now. So I feel like they could be like a surprise team, but it's either Rockets or Warriors.
Yeah, but is there a possibility that either the Warriors or Cleveland from the East, could it be a possibility that they could lose the next round because they blew their load trying to handle another team and trying to get them out of there? I mean, because let's face it, the Pacers gave Cleveland all they could handle and then some. So what do you think that they're going to do to Cleveland? Yeah, what do you think that is going to? What do you think the Raptors are going to do?
Yeah, I was thinking about that because, I mean, LeBron. I don't know how much LeBron has left in the tank. Because LeBron literally had to put up they won by 4. LeBron put up 40 and change.
Yeah.
And I mean, the next high scorer I think was either Tristan Thompson at 14 points, or Kevin Love at 13. It is just LeBron. This is the most LeBron's had to carry a team since 2007, I think.
They need Dwayne Wade. I don't know what the hell move they were thinking mid-season getting rid of him. I mean, the thing is, LeBron. But here's the thing: LeBron could have said something, because LeBron has a whole bunch of pull with the way the team is run. He has some pull. He could have said something so that way later on down the stretch, when we are in the playoffs like we are now, it could take some of the pressure off of him. But no.
I don't think Wade was committed in Cleveland, because they're already talking about how Wade would be watching Miami Heat games during halftime or whatever. I don't think if Dwayne Wade would have stayed in Cleveland, if he would have performed as well as he kind of did in some games for Miami late in the season and the playoffs. I don't know if you would have saw that Dwayne Wade in Cleveland, because apparently he came into Miami out of shape. He was in Cleveland, just putting on the winter pounds.
Yeah.
It took Udonis Haslem probably fucking roasting him in the locker room or whatever for him to start getting that back into shape when he was behind me. But
yeah.
So I don't know that situation for him. And once he moved out of there and went back to but yeah, in terms of your question, I think it's a very good chance of the Raptors. This is the best, the Raptors who LeBron's big time, their best opportunity to get redemption. They're not really going to get a better chance now.
Yeah, I agree because if the series keeps going the full 7 and they keep getting beat up, then guess what? By the time this Cleveland goes to the finals, they're going to get swept. I don't care who they go up against.
The thing was last season, LeBron was playing 40 minutes per game. I was like, yeah, he might break down, but every time he kept coming back to the triple double and all this crazy shit. And so I'm not underestimating LeBron this time. I feel like the Raptors they're a mediocre team. I feel like the Cavs have it figured out. I feel like Kyle Lowry always chokes, and DeMar DeRozan is all right, but I don't think he can take over and beat out LeBron. I feel like this is that supporting cast is going to show up.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, man. LeBron is LeBron. I'm done under it. He's like, yeah, he's better, and he's still killing.
But LeBron had Kyrie last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he had help. He does not have anywhere near the help that he had with Kyrie. Like if you look at who his second leading scorer is, it is basically like Kevin Love with like 13 points a game.
Yeah, you make a good point. Matter of fact, I retract my statement about Dwayne Wade. Kyrie was that missing puzzle piece that LeBron could take some of the pressure off of LeBron. What are you gonna do? Was that his decision or did Kyrie want to walk?
No, Kyrie wanted to walk.
Oh yeah.
And he didn't want Kyrie gone. Kyrie wanted to walk and like didn't tell LeBron he did. And LeBron was kind of like he got kind of like Kyrie was like threatened to get surgery. I think that was a rumor that he didn't trade him.
Yeah.
I think Sixers would probably handily win this series. Boston might get 5.
Yeah.
But I mean, seeing the way, looking at the score, seeing how Boston played, I'm just amazed at the job that Brad Stevens is able to do with this game. Like no matter what happens in this game, like Brad Stevens somehow manages to just like put it together and come up with some sort of winning game plan to win. Because I mean, he's out there. He lost obviously his top 2 stars during the whole season. Mm-hmm. And he lost, he doesn't have Jaylen Brown right now, and he still is able to get like production out of like Tatum and Horford and Terry Rozier, who's got Terry Rozier is stepping up in big time games, and I did not see it happen. So I'm completely I still would say what's done to my answer, but this first game is kind of frightening. I'm wondering if Brad Stevens can continue to put the clamps on Ben Simmons, but right now the Celtics are starting to scare me a little bit how well they're playing, because I have the Sixers winning the East, but I'm a little bit worried now.
Yeah. All right, Flip, what do you think? How do you think the rest of the year is going to go? You got Phil. All right, how do you have who do you have winning and how many games?
Who do I have winning it? I got Celtics in 6. I feel like Marcus Smart is just too much for Ben Simmons, Jason Tatum. He can keep this up, but I think he can, because I feel like he's top 3 in that rookie lineup.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like they can pull it off, because it's really coming down to this. The Sixers team has potential to be great, but it's just not there yet. And they're showing a lot of flash. I feel like Embiid and Simmons and all of them, they just need to play more together.
Right.
And get that. And get Simmons a jump shot. He's good, but he still needs that outside shot.
I am kind of going to have to go against the grain a little bit. I'm going to have to take what you said, Flip, and turn it into a positive. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I got Philly in 7 in this series. Taking it, yes, I'm doing it. I'm going to take that risk. I got Philly in 7 this series, and I'm gonna tell you why. I mean, well, the thing is, it's all gonna come down to turnovers, and Philly is good at forcing turnovers. They're probably better at getting rebounds than Boston are. Even though Boston, the thing about Boston is that they don't waste a lot of shots. They don't. But the thing is, the ones they do, Philly is a team that can make you pay for it. So even though they only lost by 16 points, even though that's kind of a wide margin, sort of kind of a wide margin. I mean, nobody wants to lose by double digits. But I think that they're going to just I think that they're kind of testing the waters against Boston. I think they're going to kind of shake it off and then just get rid of it. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and just give I'm going to go against the grain and say Philly in 7. All right, Cleveland and Toronto. Flip, who you got? Who you got and how many?
Man, the second still think they've got a secret serum that is under the table over there. They're gonna inject him with it. He can play 6 more 40-minute games and take out the rest.
All right, Wazatov, Cleveland or Toronto? How many games?
Yeah. As much as I want to say, like, I think Toronto's got the best opportunity for Toronto to beat Cleveland that they've had in the past couple of years. I still find it very hard to pick against LeBron unless it's a final against the Warriors. Like, I don't. Even though I have a team like Philadelphia, we needed the Sixers. I still think LeBron will get to the Eastern Conference Final, even through Toronto. But I think it's going to go at least 6, possibly 7. But I'll just say the Cavs probably at 7. LeBron probably has to average at least 35 to 40 a game. Yeah, you're right. They're going to get a couple of big games from the backcourt in Toronto, but overall, man, when they go to Cleveland, like it's just gonna be the back iron all day for DeRozan and Lowry. I would be really shocked if they can put together like 4 really good games to beat Cleveland. But yeah, I'm gonna go Cavs and 7.
Okay, the smart choice. And as much as I want to go against the grain, again, my smarter and better judgment is telling me to go ahead and just pick Cleveland in the series. Now, I think, like I said, this is probably going to be a more competitive series than Cleveland and Indiana. I mean, and like I said, I don't know how much more of a beating that LeBron can take. But, I mean, we're going to see. I mean, the thing is, he's going to probably put up a triple-double every single game in this series, or no matter how far it goes. But, and the thing is, Toronto is kind of fresh, but not really. It's like the thing is they got all the tools and they got all the weapons, but I don't know if they're going to have the playoff experience. I mean, like Cleveland has. Because Cleveland's been here 3 times in the last 5 years. Yeah, 3. Hold on. No, 4 times in the last 5 years. Yeah. So the smart money, I mean, y'all can tell that I'm struggling with saying this, can't y'all? All right, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Like, give me Cleveland in 7. Yeah, like I said, I had to struggle to say that, but I mean, it is what it is. All right.
Don't bet against LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, don't bet against LeBron. Bet against Cleveland. There's a difference between Cleveland and LeBron. All right. Next up, Golden State versus New Orleans. Flip, who you got and how many games?
Golden State versus New Orleans. Man, I like Anthony Davis. I've always been a fan, man. I just Golden State in 5.
Yeah.
I'll get the total game. But Anthony Davis needs to go to another team. I don't care if he doesn't. Go find yourself a point guard.
Yeah.
All right.
Rondo's not bad. But Rondo's not too bad.
How many years is Rondo in the league? He's barely figured out how to shoot. Like,
yeah.
But he's gonna be the rock. You know, he's not gonna be no pressure. He's not gonna not gonna collapse under the pressure. Because the only thing I worried about with Rondo was getting stand. Yeah, man. Exactly. So you got the Warriors. You got the Warriors in this series. Yeah. Warriors in how many games? Warriors in 5.
I know.
I'll subscribe to that. I'll say Warriors probably in 5 too. I think it's in their best interest. You know what? I think I heard an interesting theory that the Warriors might stretch the series out only to give Curry more time to get healthy.
Yeah.
Because the Utah Rockets series goes pretty quick.
Yeah.
They don't want to face the Rockets until they got Curry back and fully healthy. So
yeah,
that'd be the only caveat I would say is Golden State might let this go another game or two just to get Curry back fully healthy. So I'll still probably say Golden State 5.
Yeah.
But they might drop a stinker to make it a good game. But
yeah.
Golden State overall should win the game. Even though I think the matchup like that, because I think when I look at it, I'm like Davis should be abusing the hell out of Draymond or whoever they decide to throw down there to try to split him up. But I think honestly, I missed the first game, but I was kind of blown away with it. I thought it'd be close with the Pelicans and Golden State that first game to just how well the Pelicans played. Golden State still took care of business, without Curry. So I guess that's proving me wrong, but I still think that they need to just get Davis like 40 cuts at least, and let Holiday just use whatever guard they got on him.
Yeah.
And then try to rock it out. But yeah, still Golden State 5.
Yeah, the best that New Orleans can hope for is that Klay Thompson, Draymond, and Kevin Durant jack up every side, and then Davis get all the rebounds just so the Holiday can score in the paint. That's the best they can hope for. If they can do that in 5 or 6 games, that'd be a damn miracle. But of course, I personally think that the road to the playoffs in the West does go through Golden State. I am going to go ahead and say Golden State in 6 for this series. All right. Next up, the Utah Jazz against the Houston Rockets. Flip, who you got and how many games?
Damn. I like the Jazz, man. The Jazz are an interesting team. They're like the next Spurs, in my opinion.
Oh, really? You're taking it there.
They play that fundamental basketball, man. They don't have like the crazy star power. Like I got you Mitchell, but
Mitchell,
but not against Curry. Not against Curry. The Rockets, I commend the Jazz for having an amazing 7-game series in the first round, but I mean, all the Thunder are kind of like what's up?
6-game series.
Cavs 7 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like it's like Pelicans and Blazers and Thunder and Jazz, kind of like they're similar. Like the Blazers suck and the Thunder kind of suck this year because Melo was underwhelming.
Yeah.
So I feel like that Rockets team is that Warriors team that the Jazz always seem to lose to. So I got Rockets. I got Rockets 5. I feel like Mitchell can pull out 1 or 2 games.
All right, Wazeltov, who you got? Your boys or the Rockets?
I do have the Rockets. I won't pick with my heart. I'll pick with my mind on this one.
Right.
Now the unfortunate thing is Houston is just such a 3-point shooting team, and that doesn't really go into what makes Utah great. Utah is great at rim protection with Gobert down there, and that leads to their being able to kind of have good success against a team like OKC that relies on a lot of touches drives to the basket. Westbrook was able to get his, but a lot of it was at the cost of he had a lot of he was shooting pretty well in the game before Hyatt, but it still kind of disrupted their offense a little bit because of Gobert being lurking down low. But Houston doesn't really have to worry about that because they have damn near 1 through 5 on their court to shoot three.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of hard. There's no one on there that can really guard hard in the court. I mean, they might try to stick Exum on him. Exum's just a tall ass. Exum's a pretty, he's an okay defender. He's pretty tall and can kind of disrupt a lot of guards. But
Hold on, does Houston? All right, how does Houston play defense? Do they play with all forwards and no centers, or do they play with one center, forward, 2 guards? Or I'm trying to figure out what formation do they play in or defense?
They usually have Capella. Capella is usually their center. They rock with, and then they have Ariza and Tucker as their forward, and then they'll throw in the Nene. The Nene gets minutes too. So
Yeah.
if Capella's not out there, it's usually the Nene.
Because the Nene, he's a small and power, right?
Yeah. And then obviously, I think Ryan Anderson they throw out there. Mumbai, I can't pronounce that name. Mumbai Muktu.
Yeah.
They're getting him back. But yeah, they can stand here again and shoot threes like at least 1 through 4, and also that 2 from the outside. So it's just hard to defend. Jazz, I mean, Chris Paul, I think he can kind of disrupt Donovan Mitchell enough to kind of slow down that offense, and I think we saw that in the first game. So I think the amazing run that the Jazz have ends this round, but I still think that the coaching with Snyder and stuff is good enough to get everything to the game. So I'm going to say the Rockets at 5.
All right. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for our predictions of the semifinals rounds for the 2018 NBA playoffs. Should be very, very interesting. Now we're going to move on to some NFL news. We're going to go into a little bit of the NFL draft. I paid attention to a couple minutes of the first round. I didn't go to, but I didn't get a chance to watch all of it because I went to the 10:30 screening of Avengers Infinity War. I'll talk about that in another video for my other viewers. But my team, if I had to give my team, the Steelers, a draft grade, I would give us a B-. I mean, because the Steelers, they have a type. I don't know what it is about them, but every year they seem to draft a speedy ass wide receiver. It never fails them. And the thing that pissed me off is that we got rid of Martavis Bryant. I'm like, why? I mean, besides that little off the field BS and Juju Smith-Schuster showing out, I don't understand why we got rid of him anyway. Martavis Bryant was probably one of the cheaper receivers. He wasn't asking for a lot of money, but and the thing is, he was a damn good receiver. So yeah. But yeah. Anywho, Flip, how did your team draft?
We drafted amazing, man. I was watching the first 17 pick because obviously my team picked at 17, and after that I really did care. Well, actually, I did care against the Cowboys. Cowboys always get a good laugh, but my team got very, I wouldn't say lucky, got fortunate. The one thing we really needed was safety, and Derwin James just magically dropped to us. He was supposed to be like a top 10 pick.
Right.
I wasn't expecting him to be the top 10, and fell to us at 17. We drafted our linebacker, we drafted our defensive tackle, we got some more depth at a few spots that we needed to. I think we need Jonathan Hankins because he's still out there in free agency, and I feel like this team is finally there. I feel like we can sweep the AFC West no problem, and we're good, man.
Yeah. All right.
We just need to stay healthy.
Yeah. Well, all right, Wazakov, how did your team draft? And we'll talk about the boys, Baker Mayfield, and the other top 10 draft picks in a second. But yeah, how'd your team draft?
It was so. I mean, it always sucks when your team drafts like an offensive lineman in the first round, like with their first pick. Like no one ever gets hyped about drafting an offensive lineman. It's such like it's not really a glamorous position.
Yeah.
It's a vital position. So, you know, you basically, like, you're not going anywhere that's got an offensive line that can block for you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was fine. I mean, I know what they're trying to do. They're basically trying to just protect our investment in Jimmy G. So they're basically just trying to say that we're doing work for. We want to make sure that we have the guy upright for the course of the season.
But you guys got Richard Sherman in the off season. That yeah, talk about that for a second. I mean, yeah, speak on that.
I'm glad on that. I think my piece for Richard Sherman. I used to hate that guy.
Gee, I wonder why.
But here's the thing. I made my piece before we picked him up in the offseason. I made my piece with him like way before, like after that game in the NFC stuff, and even after he made that play on Crabtree and talked all that mess. After we put it, and I'm like, you know what, this guy's a good person off the field, and I he was that giving him, you know, that facial reaction after that interception that cost the Super Bowl, that reaction where he had like he kind of looking at the interception that hasn't occurred and his face just dropped. That was pretty funny. But other than that, I had no problem with Richard Sherman, and I'm actually looking forward to having a motivated Richard Sherman, even at his age, in the locker room, that mind, and that motivation to try to stick it to the Seahawks twice a year. I'm glad for him and glad for that. So there's always trash anyway, so I don't think it gets worse with Richard Sherman. I think anything is possible as long as he's healthy and that injury he's getting over didn't really slow him down. I think it's going to be a great addition. And that, I mean, I don't really know too much about the receivers in the draft. I don't think the receiving class was that deep this year. So it was just really just a quarterback and obviously defensive positions heavy in terms of draft class. So I wasn't really keen on like who we got. I'd rather go after than free agency in this draft class. I kind of read things afterwards. I was paying attention to the draft. Obviously, I was thinking Infinity War during the draft, so I was really looking at my phone afterwards.
Yeah.
Reading up when I was sick, but it is fine. I don't think that they've been like shit that they're kind of in that middle pick at 9. They didn't have much pressure on them to mess up the pick or have availability to get a good play. So I was fine with their draft and their selection.
Yeah. And Cleveland, the Cleveland Browns, when in the hell are they going to learn? Picking up Baker Mayfield was a dumbass move. It's pointless drafting Tyrod Taylor. If you know that you're going to pick up a quarterback, why get one in a trade from another team? If you haven't learned your lesson. Here's the thing. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So we're playing in the AFC North division. I know exactly what they need to do. They need to build a damn defense. Why do you keep the thing is the Cleveland Browns have done this for how many years straight? 9? So it's been at least 7 years straight. But yeah, drafting the damn high-end quarterback. Me personally, I think that Baker Mayfield probably should have went to the Cardinals and not Josh Rosen. It seemed like he would have. To me, he would have. I mean, y'all might disagree, but to me, he would have been a better fit in the Cardinals just because of what kind of quarterback he is. And the Cardinals right now, they don't have one, so we're just going to see what he does. I mean, Sam Darnold, the Jets, I can agree with that. I mean, there's not really that much, I can argue with. We'll see how he does there. Saquon Barkley and the Jets. The Giants could not have picked a better. They could not have had a better first draft pick. They couldn't have picked better. Let's see who else. In the first round.
Can we think the Ravens getting
Lamar Jackson? Oh, Lamar Jackson. Yeah, well. Let's see. They got RG3 and Lamar Jackson. Yeah.
That's interesting. That is very, very, very interesting. That he fell that far down. I think if anything, it's interesting I think Baker Mayfield is one of those positions where if you draft him at one, he's not going to pan out that well.
Yeah.
If he would have dropped really low, but let's say the Ravens take Baker Mayfield, I think he might have more success because I think he's probably one of the players that probably plays better with the chip on his shoulder than with the high expectations.
All right, Flip, what are your thoughts on the first round, just from what you can see?
The Browns, I wasn't too, well, at first I was laughing at it, but after I kind of looked at it, I wasn't too disappointed in the draft. I feel like Tyrod's not the guy they want to go with. I feel like he's the placeholder just in case.
Yeah.
They want to trade away their pick in the first. I think Baker Mayfield is who they think their franchise quarterback is going to be, and the fifth pick is an award. I feel like he's who they think Joe Hayden needs on that other side.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, not Joe Hayden.
Not Joe Hayden. Yeah, because Joe Hayden's still there now.
He's who they think is going to be that Joe Hayden on their team. But I feel like their defense is solid. They just needed someone who could actually get out there and play in that secondary. I don't think they're there yet, but I think they're like a 1-16 team now, or 1-15 team now.
Yeah.
The rest of the draft, I feel like it kind of went the way I expected it to.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks going high. The Raiders, I don't know what the hell they were thinking.
I don't know. Well, actually, we're gonna talk about that in a second with the Raiders, and we're gonna talk about trades in a second. Well, all-season trades in a second. But go on.
But yeah, I felt like it was a pretty mediocre draft. The Broncos getting Chubb was surprising.
Yeah. I didn't like that. But like I said, we're gonna talk about the trade in just a second.
Okay. But yeah, I felt like it was that's the first round.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, now let's talk about the trades because I know that's what y'all really want to talk about, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let me find out that the Raiders are trying to stack up on the receiving core. I mean, come on, they got Jordan Nelson and Martavis Bryant. I mean, come on. Yeah. They got Martavis Bryant when they traded because they offered to trade. They traded their spot in the draft just to move up a pick. And like I said, and you guys already know they got Jordan Nelson in the offseason. I think they got Jordan.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Look at this, the Colbert depth chart here.
Yeah. And
they still have Cooper as well. They still got Amari Cooper. They don't have
Crabtree.
They don't have Crabtree anymore, but they still have Jordy, Amari Cooper, and they have Martavis Bryant.
That's dangerous.
Jordy is a dangerous receiver.
Well,
Aaron Rodgers.
Well, you know what? With Derek Carr, all right, do you think he's more dangerous with Carr? Well, with the kind of quarterback Carr is, I mean, but the thing is, Jordy's going to have to learn that system, though. I mean, the thing is, because Aaron Rodgers knows Jordy's routes inside out. I mean, that's the guy he knows inside out. So it's going to be. I mean, you know what they say, a receiver is only as good as his quarterback. So yeah, I mean, we're going to see.
I feel like Derek Carr's not even a great quarterback. Yeah, I feel like he's overrated.
Well, he's got good weapons to make up for what he lacks in, so you can't really say, well, you can overrate him as a quarterback, but he got damn good weapons to make up for it.
Yeah, Crabtree and Cooper. I mean,
Amari Cooper is a monster. What are you talking about? Amari Cooper is a monster.
Yeah, I know they're great quarterbacks, they're great receivers, and I feel like he underperformed with them. I think I don't think Jordy and Martavis is going to be like that game changer. I feel like Carr's trying to erratic in that spot, and you can beat him to throw that pass. So I don't know. I don't know. Cooper outside is pretty scary. They're both pretty toughy, but
Yeah.
And Jordy is like your slot guy. I mean, if Jordy Nelson's healthy and he meshes well with David Carr in the offseason, like if they get on the same page, Jordy Nelson is like Jordy Nelson's your third option. That's not that bad. If Jordy Nelson's the third option, it's pretty good.
Yeah, but Jordy Nelson, he's a number 2 guy, isn't he? Well, he was a number 2 guy on the Packers.
He is. Well, he kind of fell back to number 2 when Rodgers started building up that better rapport with But I'm just saying, like I'm just looking at it from the outside. If you just put Ryan up on the outside, get Ryan and Cooper on opposite ends, or something. I think that's kind of that could be interesting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And also, like I said, this is just my personal thoughts about this. But what y'all guys think about the Pittsburgh Steelers drafting speedy wide receivers? To me, it's unnecessary. What y'all think?
Find the third receiver depth. I mean, they kind of want to have like those powerful receiving cores. Go with maybe I'm running the back and receiving as well.
Oh yeah.
They think that they're a passing team, and the way they're being for it allows. They want to kind of find that replacement for Marquez Jones.
Yeah. Because Juju, I mean, that he had coming out party last year. He has good fast, he doesn't fumble, and he's a playmaker. So yeah, I suppose. Yeah, that damn straight. But I kind of feel like because I had feelings about it because when AB went down in the game against the Patriots last year, I was like, man, Martavis Bryant is gonna have to step up. And guess what? He did. He stepped up big time. Matter of fact, didn't he get the first receiving touchdown for them? I think he did.
Yeah, it was him and Martavis. They were killing it.
So I mean, yeah. Let's see. Bell caught one. Bell rushed one in. Martavis caught one. It was 26-20. Yeah. How could I forget? But yeah. I mean, but it was ridiculous. I mean, like that game was ridiculous. But I already spoke about that. I already spoke a piece on that game. But that game still hurts to this day. But yeah, I mean, to me, it was kind of a mistake. We're gonna see what this new kid can do. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, we're gonna see what this new kid can do. His name is Let me scroll down right quick. Let's see, it's not. Let's see. A Jackson. No, that's I think they might have traded him to the third. I think he might have been the third round. Oh yeah, let me find out that the Steelers are also trying to draft another quarterback too. Yeah, they got I think they got him in the 4th round. James Washington. Yeah, James Washington was he's from Oklahoma. James Washington from Oklahoma State was the 2nd round draft pick for the Steelers.
He's not a big guy though. I'm looking at I guess he's 5'11", he runs a 4'5".
AB, so AB. AB was the exact same way because AB's 5'11", 190, but I think he ran like a 4.3 at the combine. It was like 4.43 at the combine or something like that. And that was 9 years ago now. Nah, it was 8 years ago. It was 2010 when AB got drafted. So yeah, it was 8 years ago.
Yeah, that was weird. Oh, I guess they got Mason Rudolph for quarterback. He got in the 3rd round. He's like Ben Roethlisberger light.
Yeah, he's like a diet Big Ben. He's like value brand, great value Big Ben, pretty much.
He's like RC Cola.
Everybody was, the funny thing is, everybody was saying that about Blake Bortles when he got drafted.
Oh gosh, he's like the RC Cola that's flat.
Yeah.
You let that shit out. Like, dude,
Damn. And I actually looked at some highlights too for Rudolph. He has a hell of an arm, a cannon for an arm. But he's going to have to lose. I mean, the thing is, if he's going to be Big Ben's replacement in another 2 years or so, however many years Big Ben says he's got left in him, I don't think we're going to see him past 2019 personally. He needs to learn that playbook and he needs to get his accuracy up. Let's see. Who else?
Patriots took Lamar Jackson, right?
Yeah, the Patriots took
to the first.
Yeah.
No, the Ravens did.
The Ravens.
The Ravens took Lamar Jackson.
Oh, the Ravens. I heard. Who did the Patriots trade back in for? Or was it the Ravens that traded back in? I don't know. The Eagles.
The Eagles traded their pick because the Eagles got his pick because they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Ravens traded.
Yeah.
I think Lamar Jackson is the Ravens who can trade the guy.
I think that's I think it's.
Yeah.
I think they're there for Flacco. I think they're trying to stick him too.
Yeah, Flacco's doing it this year.
They're definitely trying to build for life after Suggs. I mean, he's on his way up.
Yeah, Suggs. Yeah, Terrell Suggs got about another year or two, maybe.
Yeah, the Steelers have a pretty easy game right there.
Yeah, I think we should be running. The Steelers should be running the division for the next 2 to 4 years until everybody gets, until most of the veterans get out or whatever. So yeah, that should be interesting. But
Did you guys find cap for Le'Veon?
I think so. I think Le'Veon settled on a deal, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But like I said, we'll see. But I'm not really too worried about that. But I'm assuming that we're going to have a contingency plan just in case things don't work out with Le'Veon. But they'll take a pay cut, just for a better chance to win a ring, and that's a good idea. But some teams I think that are going to be a threat down the stretch with this draft is I think that the Giants actually are going to get together next season. Oh yeah, we're going to go ahead and make the video for our season predictions next time. Just go ahead and just have a look at the schedule, and then we can go ahead and just talk about that next time. But I think the teams that are going to be a threat and they're going to get their heads out the ass this season are the Giants, definitely the Broncos, and 49ers entering the Garoppolo era. But what about what you think of Walter Towers?
I think Houston. I think Houston with a full season.
Yeah.
With a full season of with their quarterback.
Yeah.
With Watson, and then obviously getting back J.J. Watt, barring his health and his level of play.
Yeah.
I think they're a team to watch out for. I think obviously the Chargers. They had so many close games that they could have won. I think that'll work in their favor. Next year, they've got to win a couple more of those games. Obviously, solidify their special teams and the stretch. Those two teams. Other than that, I think the Cowboys are going to bounce back too.
Oh
The Cowboys without getting a full year from Elliott, and then obviously they got rid of Dez, which I think was probably for the best.
Yeah.
I think they'll be on the lookout there.
Yeah, we'll see. But you fellas got any final thoughts before we sign out tonight?
So the Cowboys are not making the playoffs next year. Giants are progressing.
I think they are, but they're gonna get. It doesn't matter if they do or not because they're gonna get eliminated in the first round.
We got rid of the wrong person.
They got rid of the wrong person.
Dak cannot throw. He cannot make the throws. I was woken up by a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think that's a little bit of a poison in that locker room. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, we'll
I
see.
feel like we can make the hype in that locker room. I feel like without him there, him and Whitney or something. So it's just like they're better than shit.
Yeah.
Did anyone even pick up Ben Bryant yet? Yeah. I think he's looking for a 1-year big contract and no one's fighting on it.
Yeah.
Dude, that's hilarious. No one's picked up Dez yet. And you think Dez was not the problem?
Well,
I feel like people always choose the quarterback side. Dez is not the problem.
well, he's had two quarterbacks. He's had Romo and he's had Dak. Him and Dak just didn't have good chemistry. That's it.
Dak can't throw overhead shoulder pass. Or back shoulder pass. Slow right now.
No, well, I'm not gonna say no, but Dez just wasn't catching them. That's why he had to rely on Zeke Elliott to either catch most of those short passes, or he had to rely on Cole Beasley.
Here's the issue. Dez had some drops, and if we go back and look at those drops, it's because where Dak places those passes. Dak can't place the passes where they need to be for the team. It's kind of embarrassing to watch it. It's very embarrassing to watch it. I'll send you a video of it.
Yeah.
I could. Yeah, find me the gift, man. Find me the gift.
Yeah. But yeah, gentlemen, I guess that'll do it for this week's episode of the podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in with me again. We definitely got to do this again sometime.
Oh, definitely.
Well, all right. I will see you guys next time. Take care. Peace out.